class of 1978.
We are special, most significantly, I think, because we were the generation, the decade that followed Dr. King and his marches, his sacrifices, his tragic death in 1968. And the children that came of age, who were part of the college family throughout the decade of the 70s, were the generation of fulfillment. Dr. King and those who preceded us represented a generation of promise. But in the 70s, we were children and a generation of fulfillment. And we build on that foundation of fulfillment to lead forward and to build a great college and to transform our people and this nation.
She's a Spelman graduate of the class of 1970.
My years at Spelman were some of the most incredible years of my life. The education that I received there was phenomenal. I'm so proud of my Spelman sisters and the women that they developed into. They're women of character, integrity, professionalism. I could go on and on. I love Spelman.
My name is Robin Burton. I'm from Chicago. I am currently living in Greensboro, North Carolina. Have been several places prior to that. I am an educator in every sense of the word, and I am at North Carolina A&T, soon to be leaving, going to the University of Maryland, Eastern Shores. So I would say two very influential things that have happened since I left Spelman. First would certainly be, I have a beautiful daughter, she's 19, and I'm constantly learning from her. Secondly, I would say probably just my career, just growing in it, developing, and just the ability to network and connect people and to be connected, and I would think that Spelman had a whole lot to do with that.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Janice Brinkley. I'm originally from Nashville, Tennessee. After I left Spelman, I went to Temple Law School in Philadelphia, and I'm still in Philadelphia after all these years. I practiced law there, then I was elected judge at the Court of Common Pleas in Philadelphia County in 1993. So I've been a judge there for 15 years. That's one of my most proud accomplishments, is becoming a judge, becoming a lawyer, becoming a judge. But the other thing, I guess there are two other things that I think are really, really important. One is that in my job, while I'm in the criminal division and I put people in jail every day, I'm a judge of second chances. I really believe it's important for people who got into trouble to have a second opportunity to get their lives together, and I really do believe this. I know that I've helped some people in doing that. The second thing I think that I've done that's really, really important for me is that, professional football players want to buy their mothers a home when they may be big in the NFL. But I always wanted to be able to buy my mother a home as a result of my being a lawyer and now being a judge. And I was able to do that in 2007. So that's one of my most proud accomplishments. I was able to do with my mother what some people, what a lot of other people are able to do. And I'm really proud of that. I just want to thank Spelman for all the things that I learned while I was at Spelman. I was on a debating team. I traveled a lot. An experience I would never ever forget. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Rosalind Moore Chris. I'm from Burlington, North Carolina. And after college, I returned back to North Carolina, attended dental school at the University of North Carolina, and I practiced pediatric pediatric dentistry now. Two things that have happened to me since I graduated that mean the most to me is, first of all, I have two lovely children who I've pretty much raised by myself. They're wonderful kids, and I have the profession of my dreams. I'm a pediatric dentist, and I love what I do, and I do what I love, and I'm changing the world one kid at a time.
All right, I'm Verdita Monk. I am originally from Oklahoma City. I have been living in Atlanta, Georgia ever since I graduated from Spelman. Just extremely excited about life and being with my class of 78 at this reunion. Since I've left Spelman, I have had some very significant things happen to me. First of all, my marriage to Harvey Munn and my two beautiful daughters is one of the most important things that has happened to me. My daughters graduated from college meant a lot to me, and my ability to understand the Lord in a different way than I've ever in my whole life is really one of the most significant things that have happened to me, because it opens my eyes up and allows me to see the world for what it really is. I hope this inspires someone out there, and hello, hey y'all, to my class of 78.
Terry Wilson when we were in school, and I am in DC now. I'm originally from Pittsburgh, and I'm married with one son. He's the joy of my life, along with my husband, and I'm glad to see everyone here. It's wonderful to see everybody here. Have a good time.
I'm Chandra Jones Foster, class of 78. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, but I'm now in Fort Mill, South Carolina, which is right outside of Charlotte. The two most significant things that have happened in my life would be, one, my family, having my children, my marriage. I've been married for 25 years and have two wonderful kids, 19 and 15, and they have truly been a blessing to me. And the other significant thing would be just having God in my life and watching how He has worked with me and my family. I lost my father several years ago, but He has blessed my mother and the rest of my family, and we have continued to do well. I feel blessed to have had all these people in my life for all these years, and God has really worked. I love Spelman College.
Hello, we're here to talk about the Spelman Sisters of the 70s Scholarship. I'm Bell Payton.
Terry Caldwell Johnson.
And I'm Modest Hodges Sanders. We're from the class of 1978. We are delighted to be together with our Morehouse and Spelman colleagues at our reunion. And we are even more delighted to be talking about a scholarship endowment fund that we are creating called the Spelman Sisters of the 70s Scholarship Fund. Go ahead.
Spelman Sisters of the 70s Scholarship is really about into perpetuity endowing a scholarship so that those sisters that follow us will have the opportunity to enjoy the wonderful things and the marvels that Spelman provided to us during our time on campus.
We lose a lot of wonderful young women because they can't afford to attend Spelman. But we decided that we wanted to have a needs-based scholarship where we can take those young ladies who, because of financial need, assist them with their education so they can have the same experience that we had at Spelman.
We recognize the many, many blessings that we had starting in the 70s when we attended Spelman and continuing on through now, really based on the outstanding education that we got. So we are so blessed to be able to share with others. We really invite all of our Morehouse and Spelman buddies and friends, sisters and brothers, and anybody else who would like to contribute whatever they would like to this endowed scholarship. We are going to get it to $50,000 within 5 years.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, roll.
This is Cheryl Moore.
This is David Robinson.
Zelda Howard. I'm from Detroit.
I'm from Detroit too.
I'm from Detroit.
What high school did y'all go to?
Cass Tech.
Island Park.
Cass Tech.
So tell me one thing that has really touched your life since you got out of school.
My marriage has been of 13 years.
Using my musical talents to get back to the community.
My husband and I have gone to ministry together. We have a group home for adolescents.
And where are y'all living now?
Detroit.
Atlanta.
Cleveland.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How y'all doing?
Great.
Good to see you. Good to see you. So tell me, where y'all from? Chicago.
Chicago.
Denver, Colorado.
Pittsburgh.
And give me some names so I know who I'm talking to.
Audley Mackle.
Sharon White Mackle, also known as Nicky.
Chris Collins.
And Terry Patterson.
Tennessee.
Okay, I'm going to follow up with the one question we've been asking folks. Tell me something that has really touched your life since you got out of school.
What has really touched my life is to understand that life is not what you really think it is until you really jump into it and go with it.
I tell me with life as well. Life is fragile. Something that in 20 you take that is going to be eternal and it's never going to end. Definitely something that we thought was never going to happen, but it's definitely inevitable. The one thing I also have to say is that my fraternity motto was friendship is essential to the soul. And over those 20 years, that's the one thing that I learned and live and appreciate more and more. Without friendship or family, there's nothing.
All right, moving right along.
Moving right along. And we are part of a large, wonderful collection of relationships. There's a higher being that makes it all possible. And you are.
I would echo the same.
My name is Denise Campbell McCain. When I came to Spelman, I was Denise Campbell, obviously back in '78. At that time, I was living in Queens, New York, St. Albans. I am currently residing in Columbia, Maryland, which is where I've lived for the past 18 years. Two of the most important things, or I think what I would call life-altering experiences that I've had since I've left Spelman. Number one, becoming a mother, having two children, now 25 and 21 years old. But from a professional standpoint, I've pursued numerous opportunities, but namely having run a nonprofit organization for women, comprehensive program to include shelter counseling, and other services for women who've been victims of domestic violence, which has become my life work. I'm also a radio talk show host, and that too is something that I think I would not necessarily have the confidence to do if it had not been for the experience, the training, and the education that I received from Spelman College. So I would say that Spelman has, for me personally, really been that element in my life that just made me the person that I am today, gave me the confidence, the skill set obviously, but really the motivation and the desire to do more with my life and make an impact on the world.
And I'm Vicki Garner from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And I'm Bonita Buford from St. Louis, Missouri. And some of the wonderful things that have happened to me over the past 30 years is that I got a chance to really get involved in community affairs and work with the community and help empower Black folks to take care of themselves and to pay particular attention to their health and just, you know, just embrace themselves and think positively. And that's what I do on a daily basis, and I really enjoy it. It's probably one of the best jobs and one of the best things I've ever done.
Well, after I left Spelman, I actually went to Georgia Tech and got a chemical engineering degree. For 20 years, worked in the chemical industry and had the opportunity to travel all over the world. Had a sales job where Southeast Asia was my sales territory, and also lived in Europe before moving to Charlotte. Been in Charlotte now for 8 years, and the fantastic thing that has happened there is that now I'm working for a lot of cultural institutions there, doing events, marketing, PR, various other things, and just loving it because they gives me an opportunity to give back to African Americans in Charlotte.
Sheila Lawson, I'm from East Orange, New Jersey. Now I'm back in Atlanta. I moved back here 3 years ago.
Hey George, my name is Althea Barnett, originally from Hartford, Connecticut, and I now reside in Douglasville, Georgia.
The two most things that played an important part of my life, one was my two sons, Julius III, just graduated from Blue Star School, and Jamal Smith. He's 24, 26.
The two most important things in my life that have happened have, first of all, one has been my experience at Spelman. When I came to Spelman, my sister was a senior. I have a history of relatives at Spelman. As a matter of fact, that was the only school that I applied to. And the second, quite honestly, is my relationship and the love of Jesus Christ in my life.
I
I get nervous, George, so that's what I said the second time. And that's my same thing too. One of the most important factors in my life is accepting and trusting God in my life at 51 years old and realizing that life is too short. So I'm happy to be here to be reunited with a lot of people I haven't seen in 25 to 30 years.
My name is Barbara Burgess. I'm from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and now I live in Baltimore, Maryland.
My name is Rosalind Morgan. I'm from Birmingham, Alabama, and I am back living in Birmingham, Alabama.
Things that have influenced my life over the past 30 years, I guess the first thing was just coming to Spelman. I came from an all-white situation and coming to something that was totally black. The second thing that's truly influencing my life has been the death of my brother, which has just occurred the past 2 weeks, and that has definitely changed my life.
Over the last 30 years, the things that have influenced me mostly are, number one, well not number one, but one of the big things is coming to Spelman, graduating from Spelman, being able to go back home, go to medical school, and I ended up in the last 5 years being able to come back to my community and start a private practice in my community, which has been an area that has been previously underserved in the community as far as the medicine goes. So I'm really enjoying that, and the best part about it is being just a few blocks from my parents has been really great. My father passed a few years ago, but he was able to see me start my practice, and my mother's still not far from where I am now.
I'm Sharon Coleman McCarter. When I first came to Spelman, I was from Naples, Italy. My father was a military career service person, so I spent most of my time overseas. So when I entered Spelman as a freshman, I was from Naples, Italy. I now live in Alexandria, Virginia, have been there for about the past 9 years. The two most important things that have happened to me since I left Spelman, the first is having two sons, one who is 22 and still attending college, and one who is about to enter college in the fall. And what I think I learned from Spelman, the most important thing I learned, I think my current position is working at an international center in Washington, D.C. And I very much believe that what I learned at Spelman has helped me to be the person I am today, able to communicate with people from all over the world and to present myself and the business that I work for, I hope, in a good manner. Before I came to Spelman, I had spent my entire life going to military schools as a dependent, and Spelman opened up a new world for me, did a great deal for me in making me the person that I am today. I wish that I had a daughter so that I could send her to Spelman, but I definitely encourage all of my friends and family members who have young women to make sure that they attend Spelman College. Wonderful part of my life.
Tell me a school that you raised in.
Spelman College, the only one.
What's the name of that school again?
Spelman College.
Spelman.
Morehouse.
Spelman.
So crazy. Love the Spelman College.
Along with Spelman, the Atlanta University Center in Georgia. I love you, baby.
Lorraine Brown, and I'm from Augusta, Georgia, and I have had an incredible experience at Spelman. I made lots of wonderful friends, and the two most important things that have happened to me is graduating, coming to this 30-year reunion, and I am retiring from my job this year. By the end of this year, I am very excited, and having these lifelong friends has just been a beautiful part of being associated with Spelman and Morehouse.
George, it's so good to see you again. I'm here with my main man. I'm Bill Robinson. This is my brother Guy Williams, and when I say brother, I mean brother indeed.
Right. We from New Haven, Connecticut. We've been with each other from high school. Came to Morehouse together. Then went to DC together. He went to Howard Law School. I went to Howard Med School, and we still together.
Guy taught me how to sail. We sailed the Caribbean, the British Virgin Islands into Tortola. We sailed in Guadeloupe and Martinique. We've been to rainforests, volcanoes, watched flying fish. Guy, tell them about it.
And Bill said, he said, what about showers? I said, yeah, showers, man. It's like you take a shower in 5 minutes. That's what rainforest is all about, brother. Yeah, but showers.
But we've been on the high seas sailing from Anegada, hitting 10 knots on the boat, keeled over real nice. We won't talk about crashes or anything like that, guys.
We won't do that. But the other thing is we've been with each other through marriage, with kids, and basically the support. And that's, I believe, is the true value of the Morehouse mystique. Not only is it great academics, but the secret of Morehouse College is that we love each other.
And Guy's a doctor. I'm a lawyer. He's in Kansas. I'm in Miami. And we still communicate daily. And one of the most important things that we've done together is read the Bible together and to study the Word. We've been drinking at the well of wisdom and learned the Old Testament, the New Testament, and we love the Lord and we praise the Lord and we just thank God for this opportunity to see old friends and to see you again, George. It's really wonderful.
Because as you know, we really need to be saved.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And we are.
And
blessed
we're
indeed.
Fighting the battle.
Every day.
Lord, save us from ourselves.
Praise you, Lord. Morehouse is an institution that prides itself on its most famous graduate, Dr. Martin Luther King. And Dr. King had a great dream that one day people would be judged by the content of the character as opposed to the color of their skin. And today we stand watching a young man run for president of the United States, Barack Obama. And we're very proud today that he has a great chance to win the victory and that Dr. King's dream will ultimately become true when America will embrace all people, regardless of color, and judge people by the content of their character. So we're very proud of that opportunity and moment.
I'm just proud to be back and be with all the brothers and sisters that we truly love. And as we know, life is a dynamic process. It takes us through a lot of different things. But the beauty is that we're here to support each other through all of those things. Good or bad, up or down, rich or poor, sad or happy. And that is what's most important, because love conquers all.
All right. Amen.
I'm Daryl Burnett, class of 78. I'm originally from Fort Walton Beach, Florida, which is on the Panhandle, the portion underneath the state of Florida. And I'm presently living in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Presently, I'm the interim vice chancellor for finance and administration at Winston-Salem State University. And I've worked in that capacity for the last year and a half. Prior to that, I served 22 years in the Air Force and 5 years in private industry. The two most influential things that I was able to attain from Morehouse is my leadership and management skills, along with my ability to process information to bring about a better decision making. I'm looking forward to giving back to the institution that was so dear to me. I lent all of my successes to the things that I learned at Morehouse College. I wish you all a wonderful commencement weekend, and if ever you're in the city of Winston-Salem, look me up.
My name is Todd McKenzie. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, born in 1956. I'm with the Morehouse class of 1978. I didn't get my degree until 1979. I came out in the summertime of 78. And that was a political science, history major, poli-sci program really, and pre-law. I'm now a criminal defense attorney in California. What I remember most about my life experience after Morehouse, well, my mother died in '85. I'm number 14 out of 15 kids. The first one in the family to go to a school like this, Morehouse. The only guy in the family to get a BA degree. And I decided to move to California. Went to an evening law school. Took the California bar exam 4 times. That's what Morehouse taught me, to just stick in there and hang in there. I remember coming to Morehouse in '74. I had friends like George Folks who was doing this documentary. And I remember all of the fellas was telling me to just stick in there, Todd, because they knew that I was straight off the streets, right out of the projects, and came with a different mindset. And so, you know, with the help with all of the fellas from Morehouse in the latest Spelman, I was able to finish Morehouse. George, for example, I remember George giving out a lot of wisdom. And I remember Monty Ross, Spike Lee, and people like that running behind George and sucking up his knowledge. And I think George is one of those type of guys that everybody's going to remember. Everybody likes. And George has always been a strong brother. And I don't know why I'm talking like George. This is about me, right? Okay. But I'm looking at George's name on his shirt. But anyway, what I like about what I'm doing now, I think that it's very important for the criminal defense bar to really protect our young brothers and sisters. Of course, there was a time when I think that civil rights was all about voting, employment, but with this crazy judicial system, I think it's very important for us to have attorneys to fight a fight, to try to keep at least some brothers and sisters from spending a lifetime in prison on stupid mistakes. That's what I see a lot. I'm glad to be here in my reunion. 30 years. I can't believe the time is going by so fast. And it's good to see everybody. And it's good to see everybody looking so good, and we really having a good time. I thank you for the opportunity to stand in front of this camera or sit in front of this camera. And I wish everybody well, and I'm glad to be part of this Morehouse family. And I thank everybody.
All right, my name is Kevin Mosby, originally from New Orleans, Louisiana. Came to Morehouse in 1974. After Morehouse, went to Tampa, Florida, and returned to Atlanta in 1980, and I have been here ever since. Probably the two most influential things, probably could boil it down to one thing, is the fact being at Morehouse College and seeing so many successful black men, so many successful black men with influence and men making history, probably has been the most influential thing in my life. Also, I have to say this, or she'll probably kill me, the fact that I married a woman from Spelman, and she has been equally as influential in my life. So I think Morehouse and Spelman has covered the full spectrum of my life as far as influence. Thank you.
How you doing, George? My name is Teresa Bo Parkin. I'm from East Orange, New Jersey. I am a graduate, I'm an alumnus of class of '78, Morehouse College. I have an accounting degree from Morehouse, first class that received accounting degrees, and the first class to graduate from Martin Luther King Chapel. I left Morehouse in '78 and I became an auditor. I traveled around the world as an internal auditor and was a major player in the transition of internal auditing in the financial services industry on Wall Street. I also worked for Blue Cross Blue Shield. Currently, I am an educational advocate. I am a data expert in the state of New Jersey for a not-for-profit organization that is trying to, our mission is to ensure that all children receive a thorough and efficient education. One of the best things, the most important things that happened to me in my life is one, graduating from Morehouse to enable me to be of good service in the community. And the other most important thing in my life, next to my daughter, is accepting Jesus Christ in my life. I have to give him all the honor and glory for being here today and for allowing me to make an impact on the world and be a better servant to our community. Needless to say, I'm here today to have a good time. I'm looking forward to this reunion celebration, my first, and I thank God to have the opportunity to be here.
My name is Jerry Goolsby. I come from a small town northwest Georgia called Lexington, Georgia. Since I've gotten out of Morehouse, one of the proud accomplishments is marriage to my lovely wife, Jennifer Goolsby, and the birth of our son, Jerry Goolsby. I currently reside here in Atlanta area in Berkeley Lake, Georgia, and I'm currently employed as a senior consultant with a major software service vendor. The school that I love is dear old Morehouse.
Ladies first, even though this is my little sister.
I'm Karen Harrison. I'm from Philadelphia, and I came down here to attend Park College. And this is my best friend for 30-some years. I mean, we met the first time I got down here, the first month, at the street party on, what was the name of that street? Yeah, anyway, we were there. Fair Street. No, Fair Street. Was that Fair Street? That's when we met. We've been friends ever since then.
That's it.
And I love being a mom. That is my greatest joy in my life, being a mom.
I don't know whether her daughter is her daughter or her, she called me her best friend, but that's her best friend. They're like Siamese twins. Dwayne Hurd, Chicago, Illinois. Morehouse of Love, of course. The best thing in my life is my children, by far. By the way, I should have brought my cap because I got 4 kids in college. I need some help from my alumni. And my 5th child is getting ready to graduate high school in 2 weeks. And my oldest son is on the 5-year plan. Y'all know I need some help.
Tell me the school that you love. Morehouse. The house, baby.
Oh, and for the professors at Morehouse, thank you all. You did not charge enough for the education that I got.
Tell me the school that you love dearly. Morehouse College. I can't hear you. Morehouse College. Can I say it any louder, George? One more time. Morehouse.
My name is Rick Grigsby, Morehouse College class of 1978. And I'm fortunate to be here with my brother George Folks and chatting a little bit about the good old days. He asked what I've been doing, what I've been up to since 1978. The quick answer is when I finished Morehouse, went to Howard University School of Law, finished in 1981, came back to Atlanta, passed the Georgia bar, began practicing with a 5-person black firm here, Parks, Jackson, and Howell, which is the firm founded by former Mayor Maynard Jackson. I spent a couple of years, 2.5 years or so, almost 3, practicing with that firm, then moved back to D.C., where I have managed to go back and forth between for a number of years. I joined the Senate staff of Senator Gary Hart in 1984. I was a legislative assistant responsible for civil rights judiciary issues and the issue of apartheid in South Africa. This was at the time of the anti-apartheid demonstrations, and was fortunate to be on the Hill at the time the anti-apartheid legislation was passed. I left there, came back to Atlanta after almost 3 years, incorporated myself and started a solo private practice. I maintained that practice for 10 or 12 years. And interspersed during that time, I also taught adjunct at Clark Atlanta University in the schools of both business and in the Department of Political Science. After that, I actually was sort of low-key for a while, being a caretaker for my 2 parents who both were elderly, and I cared for them for several years, which was a life-changing experience, very beneficial, wouldn't trade it for the world. And am now currently working at the Joseph Lowery Institute for Justice and Human Rights, doing progressive work in terms of advocacy, voting rights, political participation, voter registration, and trying to address human rights issues. We're trying to grow the Institute and have a national and international presence. So I've pretty much been bouncing back and forth between law, politics, and academics, which is not very far from what I have done. all my life. In answer to the most significant events of the past 30 years question, one is very personal. I've had the opportunity to see 2 people die and 1 be born. I'm childless, but I had a very dear friend who lost her husband shortly as she was about to deliver, and I had the opportunity to be able to see a child come into the world. Life-changing experience. The other experience I'd have to say was a chance to travel to Africa. It's everything everybody says it is. Every black person on the planet should do it. You get to see the full beauty, joy, and potential of our people, as well as what has happened to the diaspora. Keeps you focused, keeps you grounded, and gives you a much clearer direction of where you're going. You feel much more connected to the world, and you see the contributions we have made and the root of all that exists as history has evolved. Again, wouldn't trade it for the world.
Something that's touched your life since you got out of school. Well, the thing that has touched my life is that, I've traveled a lot. I've traveled overseas. I've spent like 12 years in Africa. I've done a lot of things, but the thing that has really touched me is that I can come back home, get with my Morehouse colleagues, and be renewed again. That spirit that I found at Morehouse when I first got here has been something that's carried me through everything that I've done for the last 20, 25, 30 years, and that has touched me then, it's touched me now, and it continues to touch me.
My name is Omari Young. I'm from Washington, D.C. Graduated in 1978, came to Morehouse in 74. 3 things that have impacted my life, even though I'm supposed to do 2, I always take a little bit more. Okay, one thing, traveling. Me and my partner Fred, we were traveling, hitchhiking through Lower Germany. We got stuck on the side of the road. People wouldn't pick us up, basically in a racist land. We stayed on the side of the road for over 6 hours trying to get a ride, which was unusual. I fell asleep on the side of the road. Laying in gravel, laying in dirt, had to get up off the road, had a dream while I was on the road. The dream said we were just in a destitute situation. Something told me, right, help us, on cardboard. I wrote the words, helping us, help us, and cardboard held it up. Old white man in the truck stopped and picked us up, took us all the way to our next stop. Showed me the power of God, showed me the power of faith, showed me the power of belief. I always believed God would speak to me. Next thing, along the way, I had children. Me and my wife, Sophia, we had 3 children. Okay, I always used to move by myself. One day I looked up and I realized that I was always walking ahead of my children because I was always walking fast. I told myself I had to stop, I had to slow down because it allowed me to keep up. I had to change my life at that point because I had to be something different to be a father. I had to walk slower, I had to change my life. It taught me how to be a man, be a parent. Last thing I'll say had an impact was during my time in Morehouse, one of the most significant events I was in was during the Rodney King verdict. Rodney King verdict, kids exploded all over America, particularly in Atlanta. They rioted in the streets, they came back to the campus, they were throwing tear gas at them, they were throwing Titan back and rock and stick. Then my partner stayed out there, a few of us, instead of being scared and going home, came out of the building and worked with the kids, trying to separate them. The biggest moment in that was there was a confrontation between the students of Morehouse College and the Atlanta Police Department and the National Guard getting ready to develop. They were ran 100 yards from the other and it was getting ready to be bad. I went and talked to the commander-in-chief of the police and we negotiated a truce where basically we started talking about everybody taking a step back. And everybody said, don't go. And that in itself, I realized I became a man at that point because I had to step into a situation that was different. It had a lot of fear in it, a lot of strength in it, and basically I had to become a man to protect myself and the kids. And what I was really proud of, the kids woke me up again because I realized we as a group had become apathetic. And we had become lazy and complacent to a certain degree. They were politically conscious and made me aware. So I was proud of them and woke me up again of political consciousness. Those are the things that impacted me. Thank you for this opportunity.
Yes, what I'm working on now is called 2000 Gives 2000. That is getting 2,000 alumni to pledge $2,000 a year for 5 years. So we can raise $4 million a year to be used for scholarships, help students who need emergency money, do some emergency things around the school, and just allow the president some access to cash that he can do the things that he needs to do for the school.
but more importantly is to start developing that need and understanding why it's important to give. We need to get to a point that we have at least 60 to 70% of our alumni giving, and we need to be the first African American institution to actually have a $1 billion endowment. Charles David Moody Jr. from Ann Arbor, Michigan, and I currently live in Lithonia, Georgia. I'm in the class of 1978, and the two biggest things that happened to me since I finished Morehouse was one, getting my architecture degree from Howard University and actually becoming an architect, and secondly, probably together would be starting my business 20 years ago, but also having a family, a lovely wife, 2 kids, a Morehouse graduate, and a daughter who will be a Spelman graduate in 2009. The biggest thing also is building 5 projects over at Morehouse College and getting ready to build the Ray Charles Performing Arts Center.
And now we're continuing our interviews from the graduating class of 1978. Can you please tell me your name?
It's Terry Patterson.
Miss Patterson, where are you from and where do you live now?
I am from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Steelertown, and I live now here in Stockbridge, Georgia. I just came back about a month ago from Orlando, Florida.
Okay, and what are 2 very interesting things that have happened to you since you have graduated?
2 most important things and interesting things that's happened to me since I've graduated is one, I left Atlanta 8 years ago and just moved back, but I'm glad I did that because that allowed me to figure out who I am and who I am not. And the second thing is, in the past 5 years, I have been doing a shoe boutique and nail salon for men and women. We started in Orlando, and now we're coming here to create this state-of-the-art upscale shoe boutique and nail salon where relaxation is our gift, and men and women can come in and get manicures and pedicures, have a glass of wine, and buy shoes. So those are the things that have happened to me, and I'm looking forward to my future and opening up my shoe boutique and nail salon called Martis here in Atlanta, Georgia.
That sounds very exciting. We're here at the Hammond's house where we're having our Morehouse and Spelman class of 1978 reunion. Now we have Miss Lynn Jamison. Where are you from?
I came from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, but now I live in Dallas, Texas.
Okay, and what are 2 interesting things that have happened to you since you have graduated from Spelman?
Well, I don't know. Well, the first thing is I'm a breast cancer survivor, 9 months now. And the other thing is that I'm working on my master's after all this time. I'm about to graduate with a master's in administration.
That sounds very inspirational. This house where we're having our Spelman and Morehouse reunion of the class of 1978. What is your name?
Ava Singleton.
And Miss Singleton, where are you from and where do you live now?
I am from Brooklyn, New York, and I currently live in Mitchellville, Maryland.
Okay, and what are 2 exciting things that have happened to you since you have graduated Spelman?
The 2 things that I would say most excitingly is my 3 children. I have 2 girls and 1 son. And I would say the second most exciting thing is inspiring a number of nieces and nephews to also want to go away to college, hopefully Spelman and Morehouse.
Okay, we're keeping the tradition.
Well, Leonard, I hope you never show up in my courtroom.
Well, Judge, I would love to show up in your courtroom.
Well, you know, if you were to defend somebody in front of me, you'd have to absolutely be prepared every single day on every single case.
Preparation is the key. I am prepared, but words are my business. But if I were to appear before you, I'd be speechless, Judge.
And that's Leonard Long. All the time, every day.
Our house reunion of the class of 1978. We have
Leonard L. Long, Jr.
And Mr. Long, I heard that you are a legend. Can you please tell me about that?
Well, most people will say that I'm a legend in my own mind. Well, I had a pretty good experience here at Morehouse. Most of the time I thought of myself as big man on campus, but that's probably a legend in my own mind.
Okay, and what are 2 things that have happened to you since you have graduated from Morehouse?
Well, one significant thing is that with the birth of my first son, Leonard L. Long III, that ensured the legacy of the Long clan. The second thing, I don't know so much that it was after. Well, it was after I graduated from Morehouse. It was more likely the day of graduation, and that was the day I was inducted into this brotherhood called Morehouse College, and from that I began to practice law. Well, I went to law school, practiced law, but I'm part of this, this brotherhood called Morehouse College, something I wouldn't trade for anything in the world.
We're still hanging out at the Hammond's house where we're having our Morehouse and Spelman reunion. I have run across a talented Spelman graduate of the class of 1978. Can you please tell me your name?
I'm Juanita Kraft.
And Miss Kraft, where do you live and where are you from?
Well, I live in Decatur, Georgia, but I grew up in Oklahoma City, and I've been here actually since I graduated, or since I started Spelman.
Okay, and what are 2 influential things that have happened to you since you have graduated Spelman?
Well, when I was at Spelman, I was a dual degree major. I majored in engineering and physics, and I've been in aerospace engineering for like 28 years. But during that time, I actually found out what my true passion was and what God had anointed me to do. And that's the first thing. And secondly, I've been able to take those gifts and I have a CD project that I wrote and produced, and all of the songs on it I'm very, very excited about.
Okay, so we actually have your CD here with us, and if you could sing maybe something for me.
Okay, the title of the CD is God Has a Plan for You, and I'm really excited about. I love that song because regardless of how old you are and what you've been through, God has a purpose for each and every one of us, and it's something that we were born to do. And I love this song. It's called God Has a Plan for You. It goes. There is something you were born to do, something worthwhile that thrills and fills you through and through. You recognize your purpose, but you choose to wait. Tomorrow is not promised, so please don't hesitate. God knows your destiny, your calling to fulfill. He will give you what you need to do as well. God has a plan for you. Do what He wants you to. He'll open up the gates and make the crooked places straight. He'll make the mountains small, tumble every wall, and clear a path anew. God has a plan for you.
Thank you. Here at the Spelman and Morehouse reunion of the class of 1978, I came across 2 Morehouse men, one being
Reginald Crenshaw
and
Lee Bethel.
Can you please tell me where you're from and where you live now?
I'm from Mobile, Alabama, and I'm back in Mobile, Alabama.
And I'm originally from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and I currently reside in Washington, D.C.
Okay, and can you guys please tell me 2 things that have happened to you since you have graduated from Morehouse?
Well, 2 important things that happened to me was, one, the opportunity to get in politics at a very young age. In fact, after graduating from Morehouse 2 years later, I was elected mayor of my hometown, which means I had to grow up very fast. And that was very important. That kind of put me into the political arena where I wanted to be.
After leaving Morehouse, I got started in the insurance and investment business, and that has been a very successful endeavor for me. I've been celebrating this year 29 years in business, and it has enabled me to help countless hundreds of families and businesses with their benefits and their insurance areas.
And the second thing would probably be to earn a PhD. To come from developmental courses my freshman year at Morehouse and to earn a PhD, I think that talks about the preparation that Morehouse gave all the men, and on top of that, the self-esteem, the confidence that Morehouse instilled into us some 30 years ago.
Okay, very good. And?
In April of 2006, I was honored to be on the cover of Life Insurance Selling as the subject of an article about the progress and success that we'd had in developing our business.
There you have it, 2 Morehouse men being very successful in their lives now. We're having a wonderful time at the Spelman Morehouse reunion here at the Hammond's house, celebrating the class of 1978. We have 2 Spelman women with us. Can you please tell me your name?
Camille Lewis.
And?
Stephanie DeMoyle Hodge.
And where are you ladies from and where do you live now?
I'm from Los Angeles, California, and I currently live in Los Angeles.
I was born and raised in Chicago, Illinois, and I live currently in Alexandria, Virginia.
Okay, and what are 2 inspirational things that have happened to you in the past 30 years since you have graduated from Spelman?
Well, I think 2 inspirational things might be, as I think of it, when I left Spelman, immediately I started working for the airlines and I got an opportunity to travel all over the world for the next 15 years, and that really was an education in and of itself. I saw a lot of countries, met a lot of people, different cultures, and I think another inspiration is many times when I get to come back and see all of my old friends from school and how well everyone is doing, and we just have a great time, and I truly enjoy it. It's refreshing.
Okay, and what about you?
Since I graduated, I ended up originally wanting to teach, and I'm from a family of teachers, and I somehow removed myself from it and ended up in the private sector. And what was interesting to me is that at the time, 15 years ago, my mother passed, and I ended up getting back into education, and it has become very passionate for me. And I think that that made me realize the importance of wanting to educate our kids. The second thing for me as well would be probably realizing just how important Spelman was. I think at the time that we came here, I don't think I was quite aware of the significance Spelman had for me, and I think it's become much more significant for me in my life. And I really think back about the memories that I've had, and I cherish them greatly.
Okay, and also, can you please tell me how you guys met in college?
Well, actually, we were roommates 30 years ago. Lived in the same dormitory, Morehouse James, for 2 years. She also, Stephanie had a friend who was also my first roommate from Chicago, so we've been friends ever since. Exactly.
Freshman year.
Exactly, and we've kept in touch ever since.
And you guys are still friends?
Oh yeah.
That's wonderful. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jackie Robinson from Fort Worth, Texas.
And I'm Patrice Robinson, originally from Houston, Texas.
And we both still live in Fort Worth, and we've been married for 26 years.
The thing that's impacted my life mostly since leaving Spelman is my relationships with friends and family.
And the best thing ever happened to me is my wife. I met her at Spelman. Thank you.
Ready? Let's go.
Hey, class of 78, I'm Gene Duffy, class of 76, and this is my lovely wife, almost 22 years. Maureen Johnson Duffy, who's in class of 78.
I'm from Minnesota and live here in Atlanta.
And I'm from Toledo, Ohio. I've been in Atlanta since I came here on August 25th, 1972, as a freshman in Morehouse. That's a difficult question, Judge George. That's a difficult question, but I think one of the most important things in my life has been my wife. And then second is that our 2 children who couple together. So those are 2 things. And if we can have 2A, I'll say Barack Obama.
Tell us something wonderful about Spelman and Morehouse.
Discovering one another.
Hey, repete.
Okay, tell us who you are and where you're from.
Susan Bird from Brooklyn, New York.
I'm Jeffrey Burr from Harlem, USA.
How long have y'all been married?
We've been married 28 years, going on 29. It'll be 29 July.
How long have you known each other?
We've been knowing each other since 1972.
How did y'all meet?
We met across the, we met in college at a dorm room. And I would call her down through a mutual friend who was cooking. And I would call her down and I would talk with her on occasion. And then from there we established a relationship, a friendship from that point.
Do you have any children?
Yeah, we have two sons, Jeffrey and Jason.
How old are they?
28 and 25.
Could you give us a glimpse into what might be some of the secrets to a long marriage, a successful marriage?
My opinion is it's that friendship that we have from the very beginning, because it's a bond, and no matter what happens through the ups and downs, the thing that sustains us is that bond, that friendship, as opposed to if it was just a physical thing that's easy to walk away from. But a friend, you don't walk away from. So that's it.
Anything to add to that? What was that last part?
No. I said I have a wonderful husband.
Can you say that one more time?
I have a wonderful husband.
I had an opportunity to walk across the George Washington Bridge with my wife and saw the west side of New York City in the wintertime of 1972. And I fell in love with her then, and I've been in love with her ever since.
And my moment was, where did you guys live? They had an apartment over there off of Stanford Road.
Venetian
Hills. They were having a party. It was at the end of the party. It was a red light party. Bird was coming down the steps, and I looked up at him, and that was my moment. I fell in love.
Life is longevity. I think in marriage you put forth an effort and you commit to it and you stay with it regardless to what the circumstances are. And you stay and you hold on. And we've been holding on for quite a while.
Well, thank you. Can you tell us the school that you love?
Spelman College.
Sophia Harrison Young, class of 1978.
Hi, I'm Omar Young, class of 78. We're supposed to say what we met. Where did we meet?
We met at the Golden Pyramid, one of the baddest, nicest, wonderfulest natural food restaurants in the city of Atlanta back in 1978.
77. Met in 77.
We've been married 30 years, as you can tell, because we correct one another.
Right. How many children?
Yeah, we got 3 children. A son 29, a daughter 26, and another daughter 23.
And from your years of experience, what would you say is the secret to marriage, particularly a Morehouse and Spelman marriage? Okay, well, I'll have to say first, Savi, I broke it down a long time ago that one of the keys to good marriage, good relationship is good sex. And I'm trying everything else, it still goes back to, she says, comes down to good sex. And I have to say she's right about that. That's one thing.
I don't remember saying that, but I must say it's true. So, and the other thing is having love for your children and wanting the best for them. That's real important. And respecting one another and giving each other lots and lots of space.
And I would say one of the things that you have to learn in marriage, okay, a couple things. One, You have to learn not to say too much. You have to learn when it's not necessary to say, when you think it's necessary to say. You have to have forgiveness. You have to have forgiveness. You have to be able to let things go. You have to be able to move on. And that's probably been one of the qualities that's kept us in place. And I say having the children to live around, having the children and having their interests at heart has always had us in a position we had to move on. It always came down to that we had to do what was necessary to work was best for them. And then it came back to
Okay. Tell us school that you love.
School
that you love.
Spelman?
I'd have to say I love Spelman too. Spelman has done quite a bit for me in my life. And I love Morehouse because it's close to Spelman.
Here at the Morehouse and Spelman class reunion of the class of 1978, I have ran across a very rare couple. They have been married for 28 years. We have
Marshalita and Alan Peterson.
Okay, and can you please tell me about your very special marriage?
Alan and I met in 1974, which was actually our first year at Spelman and Morehouse. It was actually during freshman orientation week. And we met during that week, and as indicated...
She fell in love with me as soon as she saw me. She had to have me. So 28 years later, well, really, longer than that, here we are.
And where do you guys live now?
We live in Lithonia, Georgia, Stone Mountain, Lithonia area. Here in Atlanta area.
Moved here about 10 years ago from St. Louis.
Okay, and what are two things that have happened in your marriage that you can truly reflect back to Spelman and Morehouse?
Well, I can say, as I said, we've been married for 28 years, and we have what's called 2 Spell House babies. We have 2 children, a daughter, Alana, and a son, Alan. And our son, Alan, graduated from Morehouse last year, and our daughter, Alana, is a rising senior at Spelman College.
They're keeping it in the family. Can you believe 29 years of marriage that originated at Spelman and Morehouse? Well, here we have
Pam Jones
and
Ted Jones.
And they are both graduates of Spelman and Morehouse of the class of 1978. Can you guys please tell me about your marriage?
Well, we met on campus and we became, I think, very good friends. Played tennis and we had a lot of, similar interests. Our parents knew each other when they were in seminary, and we just became really good friends. And the relationship sort of developed from there.
Yeah, it actually is even a little better than that. We have a picture of me standing by my mother's knee and her sitting on her mother's knee when we were about a year of age. So then the families moved to different parts of the country and we reunited about 20 years later.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. Can you tell me where you guys are from and where you live now?
I'm originally from Dallas, Texas.
I'm originally from Philadelphia.
And you guys live in?
Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, which is a suburb of Detroit, Michigan.
Okay, and what are 2 inspirational things that have happened to you since you have graduated from Spelman and Morehouse?
I think for me, parenting, getting married, and sustaining first and foremost my family, our family, and seeing our children nurtured and graduate from college and now from graduate school has been for me one of my greatest accomplishments.
Yeah, I would say that watching my family reach their potential, and in particular watching my wife leave law and decide to receive her calling and go into the ministry and become an ordained minister, and then go on to become a candidate for a PhD in the history of Christianity has been a journey. And she's taken it and she has done a remarkable thing. So it's with eager anticipation that we're waiting for her graduation.
Okay, and do you have any more stories that you guys would want to tell us about your marriage?
Well, I think what's made us successful is that we've been very compatible. And Ted is an obstetrician. He's an academic professor, and right now he's serving as chairman of his department. And I've learned no matter how busy I am, he still needs nurturing. I still cook every day. I'm still, I still try to be available to take care of his needs. You can't forget that you're still a couple and that you can have to consistently, nurture one another and be a refuge for each other. So I think that's helped us a lot just to make sure we take that time out for each other.
I'm here on Sunday evening after a tremendous reunion weekend with my man George Folks. As we're recapping, reaching back and looking forward for the love of Morehouse on a rainy evening after a full commencement this morning at Morehouse and a full commencement this evening at Spelman College. We are joining together the forces of the universe in order to take our people forward and provide the leadership, the light, the guidance as we go through the clouds of adversity to the bright sunshine of our future, which reflects on our glorious past. And I just want to let you know that all is well.